Okay, so in chapter 7, section 2, finishing up this last example. So this is example 7-7, and here is barely visible right here at the bottom of the page. Let's see. Okay, so it says here, home fires started by candles. The data represent a random sample of the number of home fires started by candles for the past several years. Data from the National Fire Protection Association. Find the 99% confidence interval for the mean number of home fires started by candles each year. And so the data are 5,460, 5,900, 6,090, 6,310, 7,160, 8,440, and then 9,930. Okay, so let's hide that. Yep. Okay, let's go to the solution. Right. So here, the first thing that I did is I took and did a bunch of scratch work. Just kidding. I plugged a bunch of stuff into Google Sheets and let that do my scratch work for me. So add them all up and divide by the total number. That gives us the mean. Okay. Here, remember the easiest way to do this by hand, the shortcut way to do it by hand is you list them all out. Right next to it, you list them all out, but squared. Square each value and put it in the next column. And then use those two columns sums in that shortcut formula. But anyway, we've got the sample standard deviation is 1,610.3. The chi-bar, the average was 7,041.4. We have only 7 values, and yet we want the 99% confidence interval. So let's go ahead and find the critical t value, degrees of freedom that we're going to be looking at, n minus 1, so n is 7, so degrees of freedom are 6. And we'll be right back with that critical t value. Okay, so here it is in the row 6, very last column for the 99% confidence interval. And so that is 3.707. So that is our critical t subscript alpha over 2 is, what do we say, 3.707. Okay, right, so then what's next? Next is we'll get the good pen and we will construct a margin of error, which is t subscript alpha over 2 times, we don't have sigma, so it's going to be s, but it's still divided by the square root of n. Okay, so here, plugging in, well, we have that for s. We came up with, this is our critical t value, so 3.707 times 1610.3 for s, and that's going to be divided by the square root of 7. So let's make a calculator work. Pause. Okay. Unpause. And here, calculator spits out 2,256.2. 2,256.2. All right, so that's our margin of error, and we will add that on to mu, and then summarily we'll subtract that away from mu. So first, let's do the subtracting. So minus 7041.4, we will get 4785. We'll round that to 0.2. Okay, so that's going to be the lower bound for mu. And then go ahead and add 7041.4, brings us back to plus, hang on, plus 7.41.4 equals, do it again. Okay, and now finally do it one more time. And we've got 9,297.6. Okay, so there we have our 99% confidence interval for the mean number of fires that are started by candles. Suppose here we should round down and here we should round up, since it's a count of the number of fires, right? It shouldn't be a decimal-y number. Okay, so at any rate, we'll stop here. And then in the next video, we'll be moving on to lecture 4, chapter 7, section 3.